again today, a little bit earlier, hoping to see if we can make it a little easier on some folks that have time constraints. We know it's that season. You've got all the sports going on. Everybody's getting straight home, getting kids dressed for practice and all that. So trying to catch you on your ride home so maybe you can tune in and listen to this, or if you have a question, put it in the comments. And to start off, if you haven't liked this, like, subscribe, go ahead and tick the little bell so you get notifications when I go live. And let's look at some markets. And I think we want to start off, as always, with the dollar. Man, has it had a rough week. And this is what we want to see. If we want stocks and assets and crypto to go up, like we've seen this week so far, we've got to have a downturn in the strength of the dollar, because that's the way it works. These people that have been putting their money into the dollar and getting out of assets, we need them to start pulling their money out and putting it back into markets such as Bitcoin and the NASDAQ and the Dow. We don't need it sitting here drawing interest. We need it going to work for us. And that's the only way we're gonna get a turnaround in this markets. And the Fed drives most of that. We've seen here over the last few months that we've had some pretty nasty downturn weeks that just got gobbled up in a bigger rally. But I'm starting to see it slow down. I'm starting to see what could be a slowing. I'm not going to say a pivot point at all, but we have been just way overbought for so long. We're just riding that line. And it can keep going as long as it wants like that. But it's showing some signs of weakness. And hopefully throughout this week with some different earnings stuff coming in, we're going to see this. And we've got the FOMC meeting coming up, I think, in 2 weeks. And we'll see what the Fed's going to do. But the dollar has struggled this week. And we're looking on a daily time. And it's kind of moving sideways and having some pretty rough days here and there, and that's what's gave us our pops in markets. The overall dollar is at just historical levels. You can see, zooming way out here, we haven't been this high since, let's see, July of 2002. That's wild. That's a long time. And we need to get down from there. That's not healthy for us at all. Luckily, we're seeing a drop in positive momentum. We're getting close to neutral right here on the weekly time frame. Major time frames like this, you want to see it start dipping and getting into the neutral and hopefully negative. And let's come back down here and test this level. Let's break it, test this level. So we've got a lot of stairs to work our way down to get back here to a reasonable level. And it's going to take some time. But in the meantime, it's giving you all the opportunities to get into the markets now while things are just beat to hell and back. Today, we had Google and Microsoft and some other companies that reported after the bell. I'm not looking at it the same way everyone else is. Let's pull it up right now. Let's look at Google. I'm not seeing it the same way everyone else is. Right now, it's showing that after hours, we got down to like $97 and some change. Closed at 104. That may seem a little terrible to some people, but I have a theory on this, and I may be wrong. But everybody always preaches that you hear, oh, trading simple. You buy low and sell high. In that case, if you're going to be in options on Google, on Alphabet here, wouldn't you want to get in those options now after it's taken a nosedive if you can? I mean, and the other supporting cast for that is if you look down here at the MACD, we've been losing negative momentum for a while now, and we are really close to turning neutral to positive on that MACD. The RSI is trying to creep its way back up to neutral. I just don't see this as a bad thing. You have a lot of retail, first time, unknowingly, or traders that just look at it in a different manner that were like, oh, if Google comes in and knocks it out of the park with killer earnings and they just outperform, that's the time to buy. And now is not the market environment for that. Bad news is good, good news is bad. It's all kind of upside down, but I believe this $98 price you're seeing right now after hours is probably gonna to flip around and change some things. We're probably gonna see a little fake out tomorrow. I think we might start off kind of red and bloody from all of the retail still panicking, trying to sell it open to get out of their positions. And then I think we go on a tear. Because if you're Wall Street, if you're big money out there slinging your hundreds of millions around, would you want to take a long option on Google? So let's say you want to go out to end the year on an options contract. Would you want to go long if Google just reported great earnings and blew out everything from their last quarter? What's the upside? You see what I'm saying? If anything, they have blowout great earnings. You want to start buying put options. The forward guidance means a lot too, but in this macro environment, I think a lot of it's a crock to try to keep it afloat. But me, I want to start taking long options for the next 3 to 4 months that Google's gets better, that their business model starts performing better as we're getting closer and closer to a pivot point on the inflation front. Because by the time there's a confirmed pivot point by the Fed, we've confirmed that inflation is what it is and it's slowing down or turning, you're too late. You've already missed rally. So that's my 2 cents on that. I want to be buying all of these companies that underperformed. I want to buy them right now. That's what I want to do. Microsoft, I don't think their stuff come in. Where did it come in? About par, nothing. I mean, they didn't miss it bad, but same thing. We look here, we've got that divergence is dying out. We're trying to go positive after 2 weeks here. I'm okay with it. I'm a buyer right now at these levels because I do believe we have a little higher to go. We'll probably come back up and test this 200-day moving average before we possibly see another rejection. By that point, hopefully economic factors have changed and we'll start seeing some higher highs and higher lows. Another good trade today. Actually, it's been a great trade the last 2 days. We've had 2 or 3 trades posted in Discord, and several members have made bank. I mean, 190% gains, 160, 130. We all took some long options here on the call side and just had a rip this week. We had where we start off somewhere down there at the 750 range, and we're closing close to $10, 960, 970 today. Yeah, I'm really liking what I'm seeing here. Snap is not the best business model right now. They have struggled, and you can see if you zoom out all of these big gap downs, and typically they get a nice bounce afterwards. But we're seeming to be trying to close that gap. Now, we could get rejected at 10.06 tomorrow. It could run right up at the beginning, hit it, get rejected, and it would make sense. And then we'll have to change our approach. But even on the weeklies and the dailies and the hourlies, we're losing that negative momentum. We're building positive momentum. And right here, losing it big time, about to go positive. So there may be a little more meat on the bone, closer to $11.25. Going to have to wait and see how things open up tomorrow and what direction it goes in. But put that on your radar. I don't think Snap's done yet. Usually it tends to get about a 32% bounce off of a gap down. And it's there, if not a little more right now. We can see from that bottom bounce, 34% was the high. We're right at 30% now. Yeah, I mean, I think in this current earnings environment this week into early next week, we'll probably get a little more upside. So I want to say I see 11.25 in the coming 10 days on Snap. So I'm along on that right now. Also, I do have a small number of puts for further out that I'm going ahead and I'm adding to and building that position now for a turn on snap, because it's not gonna outperform for long. It's just kind of garbage out of all the social media as far as earnings. Meta's probably gonna look rough in the morning. It's down like $6 after hours. Tech in general, tech's gonna look bad in the morning, I'm sure, pre-market. But let's just wait and see if we don't have some kind of turnaround pretty quickly tomorrow and continue on with these green days, or just not so bloody days. I can understand that. Some of the other keys today that I wanted to look at. Let's see. We had this week. We've had Mullen Automotive has made some major recoveries from that low of, 20 cents. We got as high as 62 cents a day or two ago. Yeah, so it's turned around just a little bit on, of course, all the EV crap and that news and stuff. But it's one of those that I've been holding for a long time, and just I keep dollar cost averaging down and selling on the rips and just buying the dips, and I just play around with it. But I like it because when it makes a move, it makes a move. Tesla, which is everybody's favorite. The last two daily candles have been very nice. A big reversal candle here, and then this massive engulfing candle here that just eat up a lot of price action. Kind of a nice little comeback. Everybody wanted to panic after earnings, but there's been a lot of recovery. And you look down here, we've lost that negative momentum on the daily, and we're turning positive now. I think you don't want to bet against Tesla very long at all. Like if you're gonna buy puts on Tesla, you better have your shit figured out and be on point that day or two. Tesla makes some really, really heinous recoveries to just kill the short sellers. So you've got to be careful of that. And they bounced off a level of confluence that we've had lined out here, and you can only understand that if you do TA. You can see how many times we've made it support. We're just doing it again. Everything does what it always does, and it's pretty simple once you've played around with it and you've tracked it for years and years and years of your life. You kind of get to know it. It's like an old friend. You're like, oh, Tesla loves to do this after that. And you kind of start getting a lot of that gut feeling is developed. Just like a relationship or a best friend. When he says something, it may sound out of line, but you know what he means. Same thing with Tesla or your stocks, period. If you've been friends with it and you've traded it for a long time, you kind of know what's really going on. You kind of like, it doesn't do that. This is typically out of character for it. So Tesla's had a hellacious recovery. Nvidia is smoked a recovery. I did unload a few of those in my IRA, expecting a little more pullback here in the next 2 or 3 weeks after the Fed meeting. And I was already in a nice profit, so I didn't really want to push it too far because I'm pretty conservative. I'll take my profit when it's there. I think I was in like the 109.98 range, and if I could take it today in the high 120s, the 130, yeah, I was fine. So Beyond Meat, I wish we would all just short it and destroy that entire company and product. If you don't eat meat, well, then you probably don't like trading stocks or crypto. I hate plant-based anything. Plants great for my yard. That's it. Housing market stuff's not looking great, but everything got a boost. Rising tide raises all ships, and that's what we got today. Some of the numbers were kind of crazy today of stuff that's just been beaten down so long. Even Peloton got a almost 7% bump today. What is this? This is Weber Grills. Electronics and appliances, yeah. 30% today. What a gap up. Actually, it was worse than that at one point. and then it finally calmed down. You had Rivian. There's up 10% today. Who doesn't love that? If anybody's got any questions or a request of something to look at, please put it in the comments. I'll be glad to look at it. We'll chat. I'll answer any questions I can about anything. It's whatever you want to ask. I'm here to answer it. Some of the things, let's look at some crypto. Now I saw some stuff going on with Hex right here, and it's kind of cool, but then again, you got to be real careful. It's Hex. It's kind of showing that it's wanting to build positive momentum again on the weekly at a double bottomish area. It just has not lost enough. For me, it hasn't lost enough to be comfortable. I think it's going to take a turn for worse. But chart wise, it's showing you stuff that nothing else is right now. Just to put that on your radar. We'll go up here and we'll check out the old Bitcoin. Old Bitcoin had a great day today. The weekly is about where it's been, and really, really nice candle today to get us right back up into this range. And I don't know. It's just it hasn't done enough technically. I mean, you could go all the way up. You get back up to 28,000. You can get back up to 30,000, and you haven't made a higher macro high yet, really. It's just it is struggling its ass off. And it looks like for right now, this is kind of going to be, it's going to be the range we're in. Right there. I mean, we have had a lot of trading in this range. We tried to break out a time or two, even back tested it and just failed. So I wouldn't be surprised if we see Bitcoin go ahead and do the damn thing and get on back up there to 22.5, 23, something like that before a possible rejection and right back down to the bottom end of this range in the 18.5, 18.9 range. It's slow, and it's going to be slow as long as the dollars are staying hid away and they're not flowing into risk on assets. It's just going to be slow. Time is the only thing that can do anything for Bitcoin right now. Ethereum, another just beautiful candle here. It had a banger of a day, but look how quickly. We're so illiquid in these markets. We're just getting right up here to overbought real quick, and that's not good. It's not healthy. I don't know what to tell you. It's just not. It's not time. It's not time for crypto yet. But if you lucked up and got in this range, you kind of had a little breakout of the range bound trading. But you still got to make some major, major improvements. You've got to get some work done and get back above 1790 to 1800. You got to get back above that first of all. That puts you back in this chop, the higher end of the chop. Then your next thing is you got to break the $2,000 mark. Once you break the $2,000 mark, at that point, if you can do it quickly, you'll be above the 200-day moving average, and you might have a chance at having some prolonged growth. But don't count on it. You got your Doge, who has already started pulling back after some really, really beautiful pumpage today, which almost amounted to nothing. Doge is still just flagging out on the grand scale. Just a big old flag still doing what it does, which is hanging around waiting on Bitcoin to make a move. Shiba Inu, all you fans that missed the original Doge and you getting in on something with hopes of dreams of massive wealth, well, you had your opportunity to get back in June at a ridiculously low level. We're kind of trying to put in a higher low now. I wouldn't guarantee that it stays, but you got to think that if it does and makes a slightly higher low again, well, then you've missed anywhere close to that bottom. You've already, 10 or 20% can make or break a good trade. You want to get as close as possible. So we're, it's right now 47%, 50% from where its low was. You had an opportunity for several days to buy it there. What else? What blew up today and got just plumb stupid? Cardano. Cardano had a massive spike today. Big, beautiful candle. What kind of percentage run did we have today on the Cardanos? I mean, you had a 20% run at one point today. That's nice. That's nice if you could have been in it, but it did it right off its lows. You haven't had a whole lot of time to buy that bottom. It hasn't chopped. It hit it and it bounced. H bars 2%, Filecoin 6%, VThor. I mean, it is what it is. You're waiting on that big boom. I don't see nothing that gets me real excited about it, but overall, green day in the markets, I would suspect we have to get at least one nasty red day to possibly wipe out most of these games, or let the markets chill. Tomorrow could be that day. Maybe not. Maybe it keeps roping us in all week and then dumps on everybody on Friday. We've had some really, really nice green days lately, and earnings is going on, so it's going to be volatile. It's going to be crazy, quick up and downs, and just nutty stuff. So be careful when you're out there. If you have any questions, please feel free to reach out, ask. I'll answer if I can. And don't forget, sign up to the Discord. I mean, it's free to sign up. You get a 7-day free trial to check out all the premium section and get the trade setups posted by me and my crew. We're just banging it out, some winners in there, guys. So if you see this, you want to get in the Discord, check it out. Let me know. There's a link in the description down there. There should be. I'll check it out to make sure. But thanks for